Have a good night. What's left of it. Heidi Collins has been handling the update duty for a long time today. What will go on now in the skies way up over Iraq, U.S. satellites, U.S. spy satellites will be making passes over the city. It is one of the ways, it's not the only way, but it's one of the ways that the military planners will figure out how successful they have been. We heard John Burns a little bit ago, the New York Times, say from where he was standing about a half a mile away, it was hard for him to imagine that anything survived, any building survived those attacks. Miles O'Brien has been working a bit on this whole notion of bomb damage assessment, or as the general would say, BDA. General, I'm getting better at this sort of thing. Miles, walk us through it.
It's almost like dealing with NASA at times, Aaron. First of all, let's talk a little bit about how many missions were staged today, and the remarkable fact that not a single U.S. aircraft was lost through all of this. This is part of the reason why. This is a B-52, and what we're showing you here is a CALCOM, Aaron. CALCOM. That's a conventional air-launched missile. A cruise missile, which is dropped off of a B-52. We've been telling you about cruise missiles which come off of ships and off of submarines. This is one of the other ways that these can be launched. More than 1,000 have already been launched on Iraq since this campaign began, at more than $1 million a copy, $1 billion bill for that, just to put that into some perspective. Now let's give you an idea of some of the targets that were sought out today. We'll kind of give you the before for the BDA, the bomb damage assessment, and I'm going to take you up north to Mosul. Mosul and Tikrit, north of Baghdad, important sites following the Tigris River, that narrow strip of vegetation and civilization in Iraq. This takes you down to a VIP residence in Mosul, one of some of the 50 palaces plus that Saddam Hussein has built over the years, costing some $2 billion. Let's move south to Tikrit. Tikrit is his hometown. His clan is there. His tribe is there. It is filled with all kinds of Saddam Hussein palaces. Another obvious target for the people who come up with these scenarios. Now, let's take you down to Baghdad, and we'll give you some specifics about what happened there in the course of this remarkable day as we watch some of this video of this bombing campaign. We'll give you a wide shot of the palace area, which was the focus of a lot of attention. First, take a look at some of these pictures. If you look in the foreground there is a building there which is associated with a Ministry of Planning. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what is going on beside it as we look at some satellite images in just a moment, but this bombing was very sustained and very precise. This big, wide swath of Baghdad is all considered part of a presidential palace compound, the Republican Palace, right at the center of it. Let's take you a little bit further down the street here, or up north actually, as we're headed to the northwest really, to the Ministry of Information. The reason I show you that is where the camera is located that you've been seeing all these pictures from. Satellite dishes on the roof there, and the camera shooting in this direction. Let's swing around, show you exactly what you were looking at, and as we swing around, we'll try to match up this view with some of the pictures you've been seeing and give you a sense of what's going on and exactly what was destroyed based on what we've heard as you look at live pictures now as dawn breaks over Baghdad. There's those pictures you see. There's that building in the foreground. Come back to the satellite image, and I'll show you where that building is as we move a little bit closer to that area. That building is off in this direction here, and those palaces, all that activity was right in there. Let's move along and go to that area. We'll show you the palace that was involved in that tremendous explosion there. Just one of several that was the target here. Once again, these palaces, bit of a euphemism. These are really complexes which involve all manner of regime control. The Republican Palace, that main central palace here, right on the banks of the Tigris River. Another one that was struck, we know for sure, on the course of this 1,000 cruise missile attack, the palace that is known as Al-Sajud. Al-Sajud is a little further down the Tigris River. And then finally, the palace known as Al-Salam, which translated is the Peace Palace. We'll show you quickly some of the pictures released by Iraqi TV of the remnants of what is the Peace Palace, the Al-Salam. These pictures released shortly after that barrage of bombs which rained down on Baghdad. Go back to the satellite image and you'll see the before, there was your after. And that is exactly what has been going on. These regime targets, these focuses of Saddam Hussein's, his desire to build monuments to himself, much of that today lies in rubble. Aaron?
Miles, thank you. That's, and we assume, I think correctly, that the level of sophistication of the satellite imagery that the American military will be working at is a bit more precise than what we just put on the air. And what we just put on the air, the computer enhancement there is pretty interesting stuff. We